When I first walked into the Navy SEAL recruiter's office, he looked at me and said, there's only been 35 African Americans in 70 years make it through. You know what I said to myself? What if I can be the 36th? It's the what if I can pull off a fucking miracle. What if I can become someone that no one thinks I can be?
What have you got to lose?
Exactly. And that was it. And it was like, I have nothing to lose. And that was when, if everybody who's like at the bottom and feels like they have nothing going for them, reframe that as, I have nothing going for me, which also means that I have nothing to lose by taking action, it makes you a much more dangerous person.
This is true no matter who you are, no matter where you're going into that new and novel situation. And one of the things you have to let go of is being perfect. Mm-hmm. When you set yourself up to go into that event and think that perfection is the only way to excel, to measure success, it will never happen.
But if we can't learn to believe in self, it's going to be hard. You can love the idea of your goal, you can have clear goals, but if you doubt you, your dreams are going to die.
And I think people wildly underestimate how many shots on goal you can take when you have nothing to lose. Whereas when someone has something to lose, they have to be more and more selective about the shots they take. And so you have the perfect conditions for taking risk, because the worst case scenario is baseline, is where you're currently at.
Correct. Yeah.
And so that
your
means,
downside is this.
which means that it's like going to the casino and playing craps, but they say that you can just keep playing until you win. But people are afraid to roll.
And the reality is nobody gives a shit. Everybody is so focused on themselves in this world. Nobody has time for you. And the sooner you accept that as a creative person, the sooner you're free.
It's grind season, homie. It's not about today, it's about the future. You do the work now, and all of the shit that you could ever want to do for your family, your kids, your loved ones, it's all going to be on a whole nother stratosphere.
You can do anything you set your mind to.
Absolutely.
But most people don't.
It's true.
So solve a riddle for me. Why don't they?
I think they don't because of fear. I think a lot of people are afraid to jump all the way. It's kind of like having faith. A lot of us say we believe, but we don't really show it. Because if we showed it, we would be okay taking a chance in a relationship, taking a chance switching jobs, taking a chance going against our parents' wishes. A lot of people stay in those bubbles, and it's very hard for those people, I believe. I think it's really fear and lack of jumping in life all the way. And I used to be afraid as well.
And so I look at that at times in my life, and if I'm resisting something, let me just jump into the fire of it. Mm-hmm. And eventually things are going to work out. Don't be afraid to jump into the fire.
You need 2, 3, 4 years of rejection before you give up. Years. People post one post on Instagram of them freestyling, people shit on them and they give up.
Why am I doing this? This is miserable. And when you ask yourself that question, if you don't have a profound answer, you will quit. And this is why most people quit. Most people quit. If you want to get ahead in life, just don't quit. Just get a little bit better every day because everybody else is quitting. But how do you have the psychological energy to not quit?
I'm trying to live my life to where I have no regrets of like, at least I went for this, I wrote that book, I did this thing that I was thinking about. And whether it works out or not, I'm okay with as long as I at least went for it.
I am in this, I know I'm not ready, but there's lots to learn from me going now. And when I do this, I will now be better prepared for the next time.
Yeah.
I remember earning my stripes to take the leap for my dreams, whether that was in money or skills, and I don't regret any of that, And I think when people ask me, how did you do it? It goes back to the whole conformity rebellious thing. I was earning my stripes. So then when I felt like I could leap, I had built the parachute in the plane, I wasn't taking a leap without anything around me. I had built a great structure that was going to then let me take the most rebellious of leaps, what that came towards the mission, right?
The more weird you are is a reflection of how committed you are to focusing on your shit, molding and shaping and developing your ideas and your craft so that when it's time for you to make your rounds, you gonna fly.
You think that everybody's paying attention. And because of that, it kind of controls how you think. And even when I was young and fearless and nothing to lose, I was still so cognizant of how are people going to react to this and what's the best way to do, like, I was so aware. And the reality is nobody gives a shit. Everybody is so focused on themselves in this world. Nobody has time for you. And the sooner you accept that as a creative person, the sooner you're free. Like, you're totally free. Like, do exactly what feels right to you. And if you can get yourself on that trajectory, then it goes back to what we were talking about before, about being novel, about being an original, about not being a photocopy of somebody who did something. If you're that photocopy, you will never be the original. But the moment you accept the fact that nobody cares, do your thing, nobody cares. And then you start to go down that path, you will just get better and better and better. Then you sprinkle on that patience I was talking about, you just keep going. You keep going. And eventually, like, that persistence will just smash into, like, opportunity. What is it? Preparation will smash into opportunity. Persistence will smash into opportunity. And, like, your moment of explosion, your detonation will happen.
I just know when people go all in on the thing they love, magical things start to happen. Maybe it doesn't happen right away, but magical things start to happen. It's almost like, what if you obsessed and went all in on these things? What could you create?
We're running at 40%, most of us, because we're half in and half out. And it's not surprising, because life is difficult. It's like, well, what if you were 90% in, or 95% in, or all in? Because you're all in anyways, right? It's a life and death game. No one gets out of this. Everyone dies. You might as well commit yourself.
We all live in our bubble. My therapist calls it the lifeboat. We all live in our lifeboat, right? But we're all on the same ocean. So depending on how good your lifeboat is, you will weather the storm or not.
Because if you're not willing to go in there and face yourself, you're not gonna find anything. You gotta live right here on surface, man, right here on surface.
Don't half-ass it. Don't half-ass it. Boy, that never goes out of style, does it? I mean, think about it. If you're gonna do something, if you've chosen to do something, whatever it is, easy, hard, if you give it your all and you don't half-ass it, win, lose, draw, get what you want, don't get what you want, whatever the outcome is, if you don't half-ass it, at least you're not gonna have to wonder, oh, would the outcome have been different?
I feel like we spend too much of our lives waiting on life to happen. Sometimes we need to start being the life instead of trying to see it.
This is my belief. When you go all in on something and you truly believe in your heart that this is what you're meant to do, and you let go of something, you're like, but I don't want to lose this, because what if they're going to be a great partner in the future? What if they're going to be a great parent? Well, they show these qualities that maybe they could work out for me. As opposed to, no, going all in on the thing that you know you're meant to do.
So it's today the day, right? The biggest fear they have is making a mistake, right? They don't want to be seen as stupid. They don't want to lose status as a result of this decision. And so when we're dealing with that, it's making them understand that you don't need time to make a decision. You need information. But so many people are stuck in that same spot for why they're not taking action, whether it's selling a product or selling themselves.
Don't you get it? Through all the bumps in the road and the stormy weather, the heart of a champion they can never measure. That's why you have to be all in.
So if there is an ending to this world and there is somewhere to go and there's a judgment, you're gonna get there and you might see a chart. And that chart may tell you who the f you should have been. And now you get the rest of your life to think about that. Man, I could have lived a much better life if I just would have just suffered a little bit more. If I just would have went in that shit and realized I had so much more. But fear and the 40% and living here versus living here, being afraid, stop me.
I struggle. So that's the language I'm great at. So if I can break down things into a struggle language, now I make it the game winnable for everybody. And that's the goal, to make the game winnable for everybody who's bold enough to step into the batting cage. If you bold enough to do that, I was bold enough to jump in a goddamn 152-foot tank with sharks in Dubai. If you're bold enough to do it, there's an experience that comes from that. And that experience is so exhilarating, it will take you to the next level. Because now you keep chasing the next level of you. And that is when you start understanding life at a whole nother concept, when you start understanding that, yo, for the longest, I was just low-level living. I was low-level thinking.
There's going to be days when you're aching and tired and sore, and there's people in your family that are sick, and you're cynical and bitter, and you need a reason to get up, and you think, yeah, well, a little more heaven and a little less hell maybe I can pull that off today and tomorrow and next week. And that's worth struggling forward for.
Let's play this out, right? It's not going to go the way you think it's going to go. Because if you keep repeating this habit, you're going to end up 5 years from now, you're going to look at your life the same way you're looking at it now and hating it.
But I just want to remind everybody that I didn't make a video to the world about anything about business until I was 35 years old. I'm very excited about this. I plan on doing this 4 to 5 times a week. We're looking to put the video up about 4 or 5 p.m. There's a whole lot of talking going on. How about more action? How about more execution? How about more paying prices for what your mouth is saying? That is what I hope you do.
Give more. Go all in. Be all in. Don't you get it? The victory is already yours. You just gotta claim it. You just gotta stake it. You just gotta bring it into life. And you cannot bring it into life if you're going halfway.
In order to get something we've never had, we need to do things we've never done. In order to get something we've never had, we need to do things we've never done. Right now, if you don't like your physique and you want a better one, what you are currently doing is not going to get it for you. You can't keep sleeping in and doing the same day after day, or you're gonna look the same for the rest of your life. If you want that supercar, but you're in a job right now that can't afford the supercar, you need to get out of it. In order to get things we've never had, we need to do things we've never done. You gotta switch it up.
Oftentimes, it feels like it is impossible, an insurmountable feat to get past the beating. But as long as I can feel it, I'm not in a state of paralysis. If you can feel it, you can move it. So I ask you the question. Sometimes I gotta look myself in the mirror and ask myself, is that all you got? Come on, you're prepared, you're conditioned, you've been beaten, you've been battered, you've been broken, you've been left for dead, but there's more because you're breathing and you feel it. So if you can feel it, you can push it, so push past. The truth of the matter is, that's not all you have. There's more left in you.
Be all in or be forgotten. Be all in or be a nobody. Be all in or be somebody that has absolutely no opportunity to leave a legacy on this world. Be all in or be somebody that nobody respects. Be all in or be somebody that leaves this earth with regrets.
I said to myself, who on this earth would still be going right now? You are. You are. I believed it. I believe it today. I believed it enough to where my body said, he's not gonna stop. I took all the negative things, I need to go to the hospital, this and that, and I used it all. Who the hell could even get out of that chair? You did. Who the hell would even think about taping stretch fractures up? You did. All those things I used for motivation.
If you're tired of waking up unmotivated, it is time you download the Mindset Daily Motivation app and start your day with new motivational alarms. Let's go!
That's the game, right? Like either you're right or you're wrong. Either you win or you lose. But if you're gonna come to me and tell me you don't have time, in a world where I work every fucking second for 18 hours a day, right? You're gonna have a tough time making me feel bad that it's not happening for you, because that's part of it.
It's simple. It's now or never time.
What would have had to have happened in a week for you to look back on that week with pride? Okay, maybe stop breaking promises to yourself. When you say, I'm going to wake up tomorrow at 7 a.m., and when the option comes to hit the snooze button, don't do it. There's one win that you've got for the day. That's action.
So it all comes down to this moment. This moment is the only time we can transform. And I say joy now or never.
Don't miss the opportunity of this moment, because the days are going to be long, but the months will be short.
You have an opportunity. Seize the opportunity.
We all get wake-up calls. We get wake-up calls in our relationship. We get wake-up calls in our finances. And some people, the phone's ringing off the hook right now. They're getting wake-up calls on a bunch of things. They're at home with their family, and they're starting to realize, I was disconnected from my family. I haven't been plugged in. They got a wake-up call on their relationships at home. They've gotten a wake-up call on, I don't have any savings and I'm deeply in debt. This isn't working. And so the cool thing is when you get the call, then you have to make the choice. Are you going to answer the phone? If you pick the phone up, that means, baby, it's time to change. Are you going to answer the phone? Are you going to change your life where you say, never again?
Maybe it's time to increase your quality of life. Maybe instead of staying in the middle back seat, it's time to upgrade to the exit row.
Right, or business class.
Business
or whatever,
class, or maybe it's time to eat at a different restaurant. Maybe it's time to really think about your money dial and say, hey, I always claim that wellness is important, and yet I'm still eating like the same old thing I used to eat 10 years ago. Maybe it's time to upgrade what I eat and where I work out and all that kind of stuff, my gear. You can do that. You've made it. You already won the basic game, so now you get to benefit from it.
I believe if you're the kind of person that has spent too much time thinking about where to go, then it's time to get in the car and start driving.
And you have to be able to pivot quickly. You have to be able to adjust fast. You have to constantly be aware of the changes around you. And you don't have time to kind of say, well, I'm going to give it 6 months and think about it. You give it 6 days and hit it. The fastest person doesn't win the race. It's the person who starts first.
Be the now what you want to be later. It starts right now. And if you're not doing the now, don't ever expect the later. Be the person you want to look in the mirror. Everyone's like, oh, later in life, I want to do this. Later in life, I want to do that. Later in life is turning around, looking in the mirror right now. That's the later in life. And unless that turnaround is something in progression, later in life ain't gonna be anything different.
Absolutely, you do whatever it takes, okay? Even if it risks your life, that's your dream. I made the decision that, look, this is what I want to do. Somebody's give me an opportunity, I'm gonna take advantage of it. I have 24 hours in the day. I try to take advantage of every hour.
Yeah, most days I just want to wake up and make the most of the time I have. I realize it's finite and that I think I'm here for some purpose. That's what I was trained to believe by my own family spiritually, like we're all here for some purpose to give. Then mostly I'm just like constantly worried that I'm not fulfilling that promise. I was like, wow, if I'm not pushing myself to do more and to have more impact, then I'm not really taking full advantage of why I'm here.
Because if you spend your time learning too much and never acting, you're gonna fail, right? If you spend your time acting, but you're never learning what you're doing, you're gonna fail. If you spend your time chasing opportunity and never doing anything, you're gonna be at best in some famous person's entourage, right? I think that's how those people end up there. Because you see opportunity, but you never act.
As humans, I've realized like we all have these reservoirs of this untapped potential inside of us and can achieve these extraordinary things when we're focused, when we shine positivity and light, when we lean into those that we love and uplift and co-create together.
But we usually don't pay attention to what's here right now. Right now, you and I are here. Everything we think our story is, our accomplishments, our problems, are BS. We're just this moment.
It's true.
And everyone watching this, if you really understand the highest truth of what's going on, we're all even. There's no, this person is better or less, and there's none of that. We're just this space that's here. Now from here, you have sky's the limit possibilities.
I chased opportunity, like viciously chased opportunity. Then I learned once I got there, and then I didn't hesitate to apply it.
You know, the worst thing you could ever do is if you're pursuing the wrong dream or if your dream changes and you don't change with it.
I know from a personal level what that feels like, to be in pain or to feel like you're not worthy, or that you're never going to be anything.
And I was like, you know what? It's time for me to free my own mind.
Yeah.
And resentment and anger and all these things that I kind of would just keep internally. It's time to rewrite this story.
If you're about to make a change in your life and you feel uncomfortable, that's the best feeling you can have. Because for the first time in your life, you're making a decision that's going to be best for you.
Now is your time. It's your moment. It is your day. Now is your time to win. Now is your time to make a difference. Now is your time to have an impact. Now is your time to make straight A's. Now is your time to be noticed.
Now is your time to be heard. Now is your time to be seen. Now is your time to do this thing. It's your moment.
The only belief that matters is that if you put time and energy into getting better at something, you'll actually get better. And that those skills have utility. And typically when somebody learns something easier, we say, oh, they were born with it. But the reality is they get a disproportionate return on the amount of time that they spend studying that thing. They still have to study that thing. And so you don't find people achieving just levels of greatness. You know, even take a LeBron, who the amount of time that he spends working on his craft, making sure that his body's in peak physical condition, reading the game, all of that. He has to do all that, even though he has also incredible natural talent. So it can be useful to look for areas where, hey, I have a love for this thing and I'm good at it. I get a disproportionate return. That's a better way to think of it. That when I put energy into learning this thing, I get maybe 1.3x return on that versus somebody else who might get a 0.7 return. But what I want everybody to understand is you get a return. And so once you understand that you get a return, it may take you longer. You may have to work harder than somebody else. But if you love it enough and you want to be that thing, then you can become that thing.
But now is your moment. Now is your time. Now is the time where the talking is done. Now is the moment where you got to make a decision. And the decision is simply this. Are you ready to take the next step? Are you ready to start the new chapter? Are you ready to go and build a legacy? Are you ready? Are you ready?
There is no tomorrow.
And if you're looking over your shoulder for somebody to save you, I can tell you right now, they are not coming. No one is coming to help you. This is something that you have to do for yourself. And I hope in hearing all of this, you realize why 92% of people fall into the category of I gave up, I quit.
The bottom line is, no one's coming. No one. No one's coming to push you. No one's coming to tell you to turn the TV off. No one's coming to tell you to get out the door and exercise. Nobody's coming to tell you to apply for that job that you've always dreamt about. Nobody's coming to write the business plan for you. It's up to you.
I realized that I'm going to be somebody and I'm searching for a feeling of true victory for myself and only myself. The second I shut out the whole world and realized that one thing, that I am in this world alone. I'm fighting in this race by myself. In that dark room is who you are. But in that dark room is where you have to create another human being that walks out of that dark room to face who you are.
Because when you really got your back against the wall in that dark room all alone, all you got is yourself. Ain't nobody gonna come save you this lifetime but yourself.
That's real.
I don't give a damn who you crying to. Ain't nobody gonna come save you, not this lifetime.
If you know that there is something that you're meant to do, if you know that there's something that you're meant to change, you will have to let certain groups, friends, routines, places, activities, recreations that you do, you're going to have to let those go. And there is this, you know, the Rocky cutscene lasts for 90 seconds in the movie, but it can last for 5 years in your life. And you have no idea whether or not it's even going to work. And that's the bit that always got to me. The bit that always got to me was I didn't even know if there was going to be any glory on the other side. It's like ordering an Uber and never knowing if it's going to arrive or not. And you think, well, I'm just stood here doing the thing, but I don't know if it's going to come out on the other side. And I can promise you, anybody that has done anything, moved from any place they were to any place that they want to be, has gone through this lonely chapter.
And so a lot of people think that, like, it's not speed of activity, it's elimination of waste. There's all these other things that people are distracting themselves with. And so if you were that young man, you have to recognize the trade-offs that you have to be willing to make. You have to change your environment so you can change your behavior. And you have to delete everything that's not the thing that you want most. And if you can't decide what you want most, then that's what you need to do first. But once you know what you want, then go get it.
I never ran from anything because I never had nobody to go to. I've always had where I'm going. Home to get me. Ain't nobody there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so I've always been in a situation where I'm forced to deal with it myself.
People struggle to do things alone. And the path of the exceptional person is one of an exception, which means that you are not with other people. And rather than fighting that or bemoaning it, see it as an indicator that you're on the right path. Because if everyone else were cheering you on, then it means you're not in the right place, because it means you're just like everyone else, and that's not where you want to be.
I realized that I was blaming everybody else but myself. I was like, man, I blame the coach, my fiance, the team, the Italian manager, everybody but me. Everything I worked so hard, the American dream, gone. Lost money, lost my house, everything. And I'm like, what do I do now? I just wanted to kind of get lost. Forget about Europe, USA team, and everything. I should be on my own. It was the best medicine ever, because that's where you really find yourself.
Well, it's important to recognize because, first of all, nobody is coming. I mean, if you've been sitting around waiting for somebody to discover you, to pick you, to save you, to rescue you, to give you your shot, it's not fucking happening. Like, at some point, you gotta wake up and realize when you're 18 and you're out of that house, you have to parent yourself. Your life is your responsibility.
They took everything I had. And at the end of the day, I was still standing. And once still standing on that one time where I committed myself to something, I didn't just say I was gonna do it, I fucking did it. I backed my words up with action, I went for it. No matter what the cost were, I saw it through. Even though it took everything I had to crawl my way to the finish line, but I finished that line. Pride came in, self-worth, a building block nugget of life that I could stack up to create the character of morality, integrity, and dedication to face any adversity that this fucking society throws at me. That's the seed. That's the building block that will make or break every reality dream into that forefront. It turns the dreams into a walking inspiration for others and a reality that you can put it on the mantle one day and remember yourself.
Everybody's got a story. We don't share it on social media. We share our nice life on social media. We all have a dungeon. I'm just willing to talk about mine.
Yeah.
Most of us aren't willing to talk about it. I'm willing to talk about my dungeon. I wasn't getting into the dungeon of these guys' minds. I wasn't building that so-called mental toughness. Mental toughness isn't something that you sample. It's something that you live in every day. So when something hard would happen to these kids, like in Hell Week, it would draw on something that made them very insecure. And they look for comfort. Whenever hardness comes, and you don't know what it is, it may be different for you than it is for me, but you go back to your insecurities. And then when you go back to your insecurities, you then look for comfort within those insecurities. And we all look for that cookie that your mom used to give you when you were sad, when you were sick. We look for our wife or our husband. We look for comfort. It's in those moments you must retrain your mind to think differently in hell.
I got to do it all on my own now, But that's the truth. I had to do it on my own, just like he did. You got to do it on your own. You got to do it on your own. You got to do it on your own.
The thing is, man, it's always going to be a party. There's always going to be a time to celebrate and a time to join friends or a day to, the bars are always open. Always open. No matter how old you are, they're always open, What's not always open is the opportunity to check the box in life, to achieve your dreams. That's not always open, man. And it's funny, it's like, I'm not saying you do it all the time and everything else, because everyone needs release in life. But it's funny when you're coming here and you're closing the gym up, and there's no one in the parking lot except for my car.
If we don't believe we're gonna go nowhere, we'll be a statistical society. We'll believe our peers, what they'll say. Sometimes you have to separate yourself and have a strong mindset to say, I am gonna do this, I shall. It's in the speaking that we speak. We have to speak in the present tense that it shall come to us, and we have to believe. Without belief, there's no faith. Without belief, there's no tomorrow. Without belief, we can't be great. We all have greatness in us. Well, greatness is only determined by service. So apply your service and you shall see your greatness up out of yourself as well.
You will be lonely. I put a song here, only the lonely. You will be lonely. There will be many lonely nights. There will be many days where you're gonna sit there by yourself saying, I don't really know if this is gonna work out. There will be many days you have no one to call, no family, no friend, no girlfriend, no husband, no wife, no mom, grandma, grandpa, no one for you to call because you can't complain to any of them because you decided to become an entrepreneur. They never forced you to become an entrepreneur. You decided.
See, your mama can't do it for you. Your daddy can't do it for you. Your girlfriend, your wife, your husband, they can't do it for you. This is all on you. That one day won't happen until you become. And when I talk about become, you must become legit. You can't fake this thing. So my question is, when do you plan on becoming? Success and failure got a lot alike. Success and failure have a lot in common. Success and failure are a process. So can I ask you a question? Are you in the process of succeeding or are you in the process of failing? Because they both are a process.
The problem is, most people don't have a plan. Or without a plan of your own life, you become the plan of someone else's life. You're not running the day's running you. The differential between those people is belief. One person with belief overrides 100 people with just intent. Intent is thought process, thinking, wargaming it, never putting a foot forward, never putting their face or their name to the fire. Belief is going after and figuring it out along the way.
It is the battles that you face today that prepare you for tomorrow's wars.
You're gonna find peace from going to war with yourself, because we all got shit. The celebration was, I can start the war now. It wasn't that I won the war, I can start my war. That's what made me, that's why I haven't celebrated since, because I'm always in that battle.
Nobody believes in you. You've lost again and again and again. The lights are cut off, but you're still looking at your dream, reviewing it every day and say to yourself, it's not over until I win.
Come on! Come on! Congratulations. You achieved failure. Now, the only place to go from failure is to win. You have to achieve failure. You have to take it that far. Nobody wants to go that far. It's too scary. But you know something? I got news for you. That's where winning is. It always has been. Nothing's changed since the 70s. Nothing.
There comes a day where being average, being mediocre, is just sickening to you. It's just sickening. It makes you want to throw up. There comes a fucking day where push comes to shove. Where being mediocre, being like average and shit just fucking burns. It sucks so much. You can't deal with it one more day. And you get off your fucking ass. And you create something that's always been there.
I know what that feels like. To be left for dead after you gave everything you had. I know what it feels like. I know you're tired. I know you're weary. I know you've been brought to tears. All the blood, all the sweat, all the sacrifice, all of the suffering. I know you want to quit right now, but this is not the time to let go. This is not the time to doubt. This is not the time to quit. Keep going. My dreams don't live down there. That's what my granddad used to tell me. When I used to walk in those projects, I look down and see pipes. I'll see bullets. I'll see blood stains. But when I looked in the sky, I saw my dreams. I saw my opportunity.
Like, you try to argue yourself out of pain and see how far you get. You might think, well, that's not the sort of meaning I meant. It's like, a negative meaning is a place to start, right? Because if something's negative and it's real, it does imply that there's something positive that's real. It might be harder to get a hold of. At least it's not pain.
I would gladly relive everything I have been through, provided I had this outcome. Because who I am now and what I offer the world, I wouldn't want to give that up to avoid going through those dark days or the pain I went through. I think it was all worth it to turn me into who I am now.
I was in absolute excruciating pain. But what motivated me through that whole process was the fact that this kid came from that. I'm in the hardest training in the world. in the worst shape of my entire life. What if I can graduate amongst these studs?
Wow.
The pain, it won't stop. The suffering, it won't cease. And it's hard to see it. It's hard to see a better outcome for yourself, my friend. I understand. But look, if you just believe, my friend, and you keep believing and you hold on to that belief, brighter days are coming. Weather through the storm, my friend, weather through the pain, and I promise you, you will come out victorious. You just have to keep believing, my friend.
You know, can I get to that level? I don't know, but let's find out.
On the other side of your fear is a fulfilled destiny. How bad do you want it? Whatever your giant may be, name the giant. You will defy me no more. You will defy me no more. You will defy me no more!
And people don't understand that. And worse than that, they're intimidated by that. And even worse, they try to discredit that because they do not have the level of passion and obsessiveness to get to that level. So they figure the best thing to do is to tear that level down. That's fucked up.
What a warrior is this. A person is willing to die for an ideal. You know, and for me, it's freedom, right? It's compassion, it's humility, it's humanity. I'm willing to fight for all these things.
David ran toward the Philistine. David ran towards the army. Goliath must fall.
There's a lot of internal battles. And let me tell you, the worst type of battles are not a battle with anybody else outside. The worst, most painful, frustrating battles I've ever faced in my life is me against me. Biggest. It's never been against anybody else. It's been me against me. It's been Pat versus Pat. It's been the biggest battles of my life. Is Pat versus Pat.
Be brave, be strong. Come for the head of your giant. However big, however tall, however strong, it will no longer defy you. You will not cower in darkness.
Because at the end of it all, if you can sit back and wait, if you can wait 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12 years, when you get to that point when you finish, that's the feeling for 12 years. Let's say wait 12 years to get there. That's what keeps you going, is you gotta feel, I'm doing it for 1 second.
Years of pain.
For 1 second. 1 second. Think about it.
I put the work into this, like every day, all day. And then when I'm done with it, guess what I do? I dream about it. I visualize it. I see myself being successful. I see myself hitting those shots with no time on the clock, with a little time on the clock. And then I'll do it again and say, hey, what if we're down 2? Then I'll do it again and say, what if we're down 3? You know, it's a never-ending game.
Everything worth having in life needs to be earned. You gotta go out there with a relentless mindset and put 120% effort in every single fucking day. No matter what, no matter how you feel, no matter the circumstance, you gotta show the fuck up and earn it. And if you don't attack every day with that mindset, number 1, you will never achieve it. And number 2, you don't fucking deserve to in the first place.
We must put on that suit of armor and prepare ourselves for battle. Yes, every battle cannot be won, but the winning attitude to not give up is more than enough to carry on. These battles that we face each and every day of our lives, they will continue to come. And you will not win every battle. And the battles that you face will help you to get stronger. Because even if you lose a battle and you're still breathing and you're still walking and you're still able to make moves, then you still have enough fight left to carry on.
Fierce debate has overtaken the country as to whether America's work ethic is dying.
And having these setbacks where I can't even run a mile, but I'm thinking about running 135. I can't run 1 mile. And what if I can win it?
Wake up! Stop sleeping on yourself. The biggest problem that you have had is not that you don't have resources. It's not that you don't have supporters. It's not that somebody doesn't believe in you. It's that you have not believed in you. Stop sleeping on yourself. Step into your authenticity. Step into your intelligence and your brilliance. Release your gift. God has given you something great. Release it.
It's a mental standard you must meet in life.
Motivation has an expiration date. And when motivation dies, discipline must take its place.
Pick something rather than nothing, or pick something rather than all things, and then set yourself to master that. You need to have a primary discipline. It's absolutely necessary to succeed in life. Now, once you have a primary discipline, then you can branch out and become a multiplicity in your disciplined approach, and then you're absolutely bloody unstoppable. But you really need that initial disciplinary routine.
It's that, having a discipline every day to say, for me to learn this one math problem, it's gonna take me 10 hours.
How bad do you want to get to that next level? What are you willing to do? What are you willing to sacrifice? What are you willing to give up? Who are you willing to let go to get where it is that you want to be? There is a bridge from what you see in your head to what you hold in your hand. And that bridge is called discipline.
What people understand is that they live for themselves, not knowing that you have the power within yourself to change millions of lives by facing life, by facing yourself.
Nobody wants to put in the work. Nobody wants to let go of every single distraction. Here is my question. Can you learn how to say no to what's hurting you? No to what's stopping you? No to what's hindering you? No to the people that don't believe in you?
I now know that there is no cap on the human mind. There's no cap. We cap it ourselves. Life is one big mind game, and you're playing it with yourself.
You are the issue. It's you. Your issue is you. Nobody has lied to you more than you.
My biggest fear in life is if there is a final resting place in this world, and there's a final judgment, and you talk to something much bigger than you. I don't want to sit down and have a conversation with someone with something that says, you're in heaven, this is what you should have been on earth. And are you really in heaven now, or are you in hell?
It also makes you disciplined, and once you're disciplined, like you're like a sharpened sword, man, like a well-tempered blade, and then you can go out there and operate in the world. So, and if you haven't found your passion, then I would say, well, don't wait around till you find the damn thing, because you may never find it. Is pick something and focus on it, and if you move strongly and forthrightly towards it for a number of months at least, or even a number of years, and then you find, well, that wasn't the thing for you, it isn't going to be a waste anyways, because most of the time, the pursuit of any disciplined knowledge pays off, even if it doesn't pay off in the way that you initially expect.
Mental toughness isn't something that you sample. It's something that you live in every day. So when something hard would happen to these kids, like in Hell Week, it would draw on something that made them very insecure, and they look for comfort. Whenever hardness comes, and you don't know what it is, it may be different for you than it is for me, but you go back to your insecurities. And then when you go back to your insecurities, you then look for comfort within those insecurities. And we all look for that cookie that your mom used to give you when you were sad, when you were sick. We look for our wife or our husband. We look for comfort. It's in those moments you must retrain your mind to think differently in hell.
Discipline is found in our daily routine, our daily rituals. You may use discipline on occasion, but you're not disciplined. And there's a difference between having discipline and being disciplined. When you have discipline, you're selective. When you have discipline, you're conditional. It depends on how you feel. When you are disciplined, how you do anything is how you do everything, and everything you do, you show up at 1,000%. Everything you do, you execute with a spirit of excellence. That's what discipline looks like.
I used to speak in hollow words. I don't do it anymore. Everything that comes out of my mouth has substance. It's real. And we all have these feelings in our bodies, in our minds, in our souls. I act on mine. A lot of us who are afraid of something, we allow our minds to choose the path of least resistance, so we go a different route. When I'm afraid of something, it's telling me you must conquer that. You must do that.
Yeah.
You have to go that way. And most of us don't understand that mentality. We go left and we wonder why we haven't fulfilled something in our lives.
People tell me all the time, it's hard to get wealthy. It's hard to grind. It's hard to be focused. It's hard to stay motivated. It's hard to stay broke. It's hard to stay depressed. It's hard to stay governed by anxiety. It's hard to be inconsistent. It's hard not to have daily disciplines. It's hard not to believe in yourself. It's hard to be broke. It's hard to be poor. It's hard. It's all hard. So choose your heart. You either go work for it, you're going to sit there and let life knock you down and dare you to get back up.
And no one saved me. It wasn't like someone came down here and guided me through life. When you figure this out on your own, the amount of pride and dignity and self-respect you have. That's why I walk around the streets with a backpack and just like, I don't need anything else.
Yeah.
You figure it out by going inside yourself, by callousing over the victim's mentality. You're always a victim. Even if you have everything in life, until you realize what you've achieved.
One thing I gotta tell all of you listening is you gotta kill the blame game. Stop blaming it on the person that walked out on you. Stop blaming it on the person that overlooked you. Stop blaming it on the person that undervalued you. Stop blaming it on the person that did not promote you, that did not see it, that did not believe it. Stop blaming everybody and look yourself in the mirror. And the thing you gotta ask yourself is, am I gonna repeat my history or will I blaze a new trail?
We live in a box and we don't want to go outside that box at all, ever. Outside that box is all these possibilities of life. What we do is we shackle our mind. We are a prisoner in our own mind that this is all I can do. This is all I'm good at. And we take away the possibilities of you could be this, you could be that, you could be all these things. And I never thought at 300 pounds I could be Navy SEAL.
Wow.
So if my mind was shackled, me and you would never meet. There'd be no book.
Right.
There'd be no book.
Right.
There'd be nothing.
If I were to give you one last piece of advice, in order to understand discipline, discipline is revealed in our daily routines and rituals. Discipline unfolds. If you want your future, you have to cross the bridge of discipline. If you want to get out of the room of ordinary, you have to go through the door of discipline. If you want to dig yourself out of murky, muddy water, if you want to claw your way to the top, you are going to have to climb the wall of discipline. There is no other way. I need you to tell yourself right now, there is no other way. There is no other way. There is no other way. The future belongs to the disciplined.